Guys, I knew things were going to be good, all right? I'm an optimist, all right? I have faith. I have faith in the plan. All right? I have faith, but I didn't think things would be this good. I'll be real. Even I was wrong. Okay, I thought things would be good. Things are great, all right? All the worst people hate Vance, and it's making me so happy. So this is JD Vance, Vice President of the United States, and also the most prolific meme on the internet. Every comment section is people filled with profile pictures of JD, all right? Everywhere you go, you see some JD bros everywhere, and honestly, it's pissing everyone off. Now listen, I'll be honest with you. I am a troll. I am. I love a good meme. I love some chaos. What can I say? It's literally my favorite thing. And JD Vance is all of those things. He triggers the worst people. So he is immediately hilarious and awesome. And not only that, but Elon Musk is supporting him now. You are not ready for what we're going down the rabbit hole today. So Vice President JD Vance went to the streets of Washington, D.C. to make D.C. safe again, posting fucking aura farming images. Like, he knows this is a meme, right? Like, he knows he's just memeing around. Everyone's going fucking bonkers with the memes right at this point. Endless Trump, cryo Trump, every 4 years, more Trump. Now, anyway, the funny thing is, it might actually happen. Like, I know the pendulum is always swinging back and forth, but at this time, the left side of the pendulum is, I was going to say broken, but it's not. It's retarded. It's actually retarded. The entire motif is just anti-Trump. So every time Trump does something remotely good, you know, it just ends up working out somehow. So this is Vice President JD Vance, make DC safe again. So he went to Washington, D.C., where there was a lot of crime, and Trump deployed the National Guard to quell this crime, an objectively good thing that everyone agrees with. Even the people that hate Trump agree with this. They're just scared to admit it. They're like, yes, it was a good thing, but he shouldn't be able to do that. He has too much authority. He has too much authority. Right, the Destiny defense. When Destiny is not sexting children, he's busy talking about how Trump should not have the authority to do all these good things. Now, the funny thing is, this is Vance, and dude is, I'm telling you, man, I don't understand what's going on. I don't know why bro has aura with his chubby fucking face, but he somehow managed to find a way. He's just pissing off all the right people. So Vance is over here. All right, this is the dude. This is the guy. And this is what he had to say to one of the protesters at the protests against police arresting criminals in Washington, D.C.
This is the guy who thinks people don't deserve law and order in their own community.
This is the guy who thinks you don't deserve law and order in your own community, and he just walks away. Oh my god! Insane levels of aura. I'm not even gonna lie. That's fucking crazy. And Hegseth just laughing his ass off. Oh my god! That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Literally unfazed. Did you see the JD Vance memes? Do you see the JD Vance memes? Do you think a person protesting on the wrong side of history is gonna matter? Nah, dude. Follow your virtues, and don't give a shit about other people that are retarded. All right, this is the Nux mantra. All right, literally the Nux mantra every day. You have no idea the amount of death threats I get on a daily basis. Do you know what we do? We monetize that shit. We know it's working. If the worst people are annoyed and triggered, it means you are a success story. It is the ultimate measure for success, because the unjust hate the just. Now, the funny thing is, everywhere Vance goes, the memes follow. Now, I don't think people realize that this is literally just a propaganda campaign at this point. So, JD Vance drove through Charlesbury, England, all right? So, Vance went on, like, I think it was an anniversary trip with his wife to England, and they would literally get trucks driving around with the JD Vance meme on. Like, bro, this is amazing. Like, obviously, it's the shittiest welcome of all time from a shitty country at this point. Sorry to all my British friends out there. Your country is occupied by retards, but this is crazy. This is insane. Like, dog. Just vans. Someone's paying thousands of dollars for trucks to drive around with giant JD Vance faces. He is literally spreading, and you are making it so much worse. You are spreading the Vance. This is diabolical. Now, the political campaign group that did this was an Everyone Hates Elon group. Now, you gotta wonder, why does a group called Everyone Hates Elon post images memeing on JD Vance? By the way, I don't remember anyone ever doing this to a vice president before, ever. All right? Vice presidents are normally just kind of figureheads, but JD Vance is actually going around doing shit, which is kind of crazy. So, why are leftists so cringe and unrelatable? Fantastic question. It's because their ties to this world are based on hedonism, greed, and bullshit, not actual any moral system that you can relate to, believe it or not. So, they are anti-human. Not just anti-logic, anti-people. okay? I'll be real. That's what I've become to notice. Like, these are self-hating, depressive freaks that feel like the only way to feel something in their life is to point out how someone else is actually worse than you are under their incredibly perverted moral guidelines. This is just my perspective. I could be wrong, but then again, I'm not usually wrong. So now the reason why the Everyone Hates Elon group is doing this is because Elon Musk is reportedly pumping the brakes on starting the America Party and seeks to back JD Vance in his presidential bid. Now, this is crazy, because for those of you that are unaware, Elon Musk ended up having a very public crash out against Donald Trump, right? He tweeted out the whole Trump is in the Epstein's file thing, which, I mean, release the files, Donald! Release the files! I don't know! Release it, bro! All right, anyway, there are obviously no files. The files actually killed themselves with 2 bullets in the head, and the security cameras weren't working while the files killed themselves. It's true. I've seen it. So, I've seen the evidence. It's all there. There was a minute missing from the footage, but that probably doesn't matter. So, Elon Musk crashed out, anti-Trump, right? He went on his own path. He was so mad about the big, beautiful bill. He was so mad about Trump. And he basically crashed off, started his new path, and said he wanted to start a third party called the American Party in the United States. Now, a lot of people on the left were cheering about this because they figured if Elon Musk starts an American Party, it'll take votes away from the right. Now, realistically, it would also take votes away from the left because you have to understand the modern American political system is a little bit cooked, all right? You got people that like Trump on one side and people that hate Trump on the other side. There are really no politics aside from this at this point. Like, there are no politics. No one actually has any opinions other than you like Trump or you don't like Trump. Because your average retard that doesn't read doesn't actually know what's going on in the country. Now, I personally am a big fan of what's going on in the country, especially regarding the whole, bringing back normalcy to society. No men's and women's bathrooms, fucking deporting people that are illegal in your country. Like, absolutely, just colossal all round policy-wise on Team Trump. That said, and also definitely funnier people, all right? Not these deeply unhappy, gruesome Newsoms on the other side of the aisle. Now, speaking of gruesome Newsoms, Gavin Newsom is trying his best to oral farm his way into president right now. He is the governor of California. He says, I miss that scarf, retweeting a comparison between him as a kid and JD Vance as a kid. Now, on surface level, it's like, wow, look at Gavin Newsom. What a cool guy. What a cool fucking guy. He's so based and cool. And then on the other side, you got, JD Vance, he was chubby in high school. He was so chubby. But if you look at this for just like a moment deeper, you will notice that this is not JD Vance posing narcissistically for a photo. This is Gavin Newsom posing narcissistically for a photo. This is just Gavin Newsom just being a bro, growing up just like anybody else, living a life where his family grew up broke and he made something of himself. And this is Gavin Newsom, a complete and utter Nepo baby that was given everything by his dad, including, by the way, a Burberry $2,000 scarf in this very photo where he's oral farming, pretending he could read. And also, Vance got bitches. I mean, I'll be real. Like, this is a hilarious comparison because I immediately don't like this guy. So I don't understand what we're doing here. That said, the super irony is the person that Gavin Newsom retweeted, Young Putin, is a far-right white supremacist. All right? An actual white supremacist. Like, his profile picture is fucking Nick Fuentes and Kanye West. Like, you can't even make that up. Speaking of Nick Fuentes, again, this is how you know that shit's going diabolical levels of nuclear. This is what Nick Fuentes had to say yesterday about JD Vance.
Think about it. Andrew Tate and Bronze Age pervert and all these people, for years, all they talk about is going to the gym, being a vitalist, fighting the Matrix, India smells bad, all this kind of shit. And now they're all in favor of a fat race mixer who's married to a Jeet who named his son Vivek.
Do you understand what we're doing? Just the most surface level criticisms. It's like, he married an Indian, therefore we hate him. He's a race traitor. He's a race mixer. We hate him now. Now, again, personally, you know my opinion probably on race mixing by now if you're a fan of the Nor channel because I'm incredibly based and have opinions like this. The Bible has a lot of rules, a lot of moral commandments, a lot of philosophical commandments. I mean, Mr. Fuentes over here, he's a Catholic. He claims to be a Catholic despite constantly saying how he wants to kill the Jews. But, that said, there is nowhere in the Bible where it says anything negative about race mixing. It's not a thing in the Bible. Now, if you want your kids to look like you, if you want to pass your genes on with someone with a similar ethnicity, I totally respect that. That is totally your prerogative. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You should be proud of who you are and where you came from. Absolutely. That said, this is crazy. He would rather vote for someone like Gavin Newsom because he's a white guy. All right. even though Gavin Newsom literally has open border policies, immigration policies, letting his people burn alive with fire hydrants, promoting promiscuity and unbelievable amounts of sexual degeneracy, like every Pride Month calendar bingo of all time, Gavin Newsom is all for all of that shit. He is all for open borders. He would flood the country with people from other places. But Nick Fuentes over here starts yelling and screaming about how JD Vance is actually bad because he's married to an Indian, and he's fat, and that's the argument. And what can I say? It's very funny. What can I say? It's very funny watching everyone get triggered. Now, the thing is about Nick Fuentes, he's far right. Yeah, I get it. He's a white supremacist, but like he's supposed to be a troll. He's supposed to take these things in stride. He's so mad. He is so mad about this. And I'm telling you, bro, it's diabolical. Oh my God. So Nick Fuentes tweets, "Don't ever suggest that being American has anything to do with being white around JD Vance. He and his biracial family won't stand for it." With a tweet from JD Vance saying, "It's pretty disgusting to equate American with white, given my writing and speaking on this topic, not to mention my biracial family and non-white son." Again, I think that being American is much more of a value set personally than a color. However, obviously, if ethnically, it is primarily a white Christian country. And I do think it should be looked that way. I don't think that that is a bad thing. But again, this is a dude who came from the slums, who made something of himself, married a family, and they're all Christian, right? They're all practicing Christians. Again, unlike Gavin Newsom, who, ironically, I don't think Nick Fuentes knows this, but he married a Jew. So this is diabolical stuff. Now, again, I think it's personally very funny to see all the people being angry at this, especially because my brother in Christ, you are literally biracial. Nick, how white of a name is Fuentes, ladies and gentlemen? That's right. That's right. Our favorite white supremacist is a gay Mexican that is trying to push an agenda about how Vance is bad because Vance is connected to people that like Israel because Israel has Jews and Nick Fuentes hates Jews. I'm telling you, this is the rabbit hole and it's absolutely hilarious. I'm telling you, when I say that all the worst people are crashing out, I mean it. And now everyone's actually terrified because Elon Musk is planning on actually joining with JD Vance. Truly diabolical level shit. So JD Vance, just today, all right, this is breaking news, just did a meeting, a one-on-one with Fox News, saying that he has a message for Elon Musk. I really do think that this shit is going to take the country by storm. And I'll be real, this is good. They have the policies that I fucking support every single day. They actually believe in God, which again, I think is personally, I think is a massive W. And another massive W, in my opinion, is that they're not just being pushed around by retards. Like, they're not just emotionally blackmailed by the fucking degenerates of society. JD Vance fucking put on his big boy pants, went to England and said, "You guys don't have free speech." Like, bro actually is out there and says what he thinks, and he's right. So again, for me, this is hilarious. I think that everyone that's trying their best to cuck JD Vance is only making him more powerful, and this is exactly what I support. I have to thank all of my haters and my critics for supporting me by posting clips out of context where I sound racist, because now all of the based racists will subscribe to me. Subscribe, my racists! All right, let's see what Vance has to say.
Mr. Vice President, thank you for having us here today.
Good to see you.
So you had quite an eventful morning over at Union Station, as we saw in that clip. Tell us about how you decided to go over there. You know, a lot of us D.C. residents and former D.C. residents know it well, but it's been the site of a lot of crime in recent years.
So basically, Washington, D.C. is the #1 highest crime rate in any capital city of any country in the world for violent crimes. That is insanity. America's the best country. Why should literally the capital be overridden with violent crimes? And again, another thing that I very much support is actually arresting criminals. I think it's good to get these people off the streets, and I also think it's good to incentivize other people to not become criminals because they'll also go to jail. Literally double W. Even Nick Fuentes supports this, all right? Destiny supports this. Everyone supports this. All the people that hate Vance support this, right? You don't understand how insane this is. All the people that hate Trump and hate Vance and hate MAGA, they all support this because it's just correct. Everyone wants the criminals to go to jail except for the criminals. On the Democrats, because they want the criminals to vote for them.
And you decided to pay a visit. What happened?
Well, so a couple things. So first of all, I had heard from a couple of friends who used to avoid Union Station because there were vagrants and there were crazy people screaming at kids. They avoided Union Station.
Yeah, good thing those people aren't getting arrested. Am I right, my Democrat homies? Am I right, my libtards?
Station, but over the past 9 days since the president did this emergency order, it looks a lot better. It feels a lot safer. So I was
turns out actually arresting criminals is a good thing. Who'da thunk it? Yeah, wow. I guess the whole woke people controlling the legal system and letting people out of jails if they're the correct ethnic background because you don't want to look racist is not actually a good move for the safety of the country. I'm going to tell you something even darker, all right? And I don't just say darker because I'm going to be talking about black people, okay? That has nothing to do with it. It's a coincidence entirely. The woke judges that are letting criminals off the hook because they are of a specific race or background or culture or nationality, and they don't want people to be racist, those people just go out, they commit more crimes, and they make people more racist. No one gets more radicalized than someone who sees someone in their own group do it. Abso-fucking-lutely. It's black people that steal that makes white people racist, okay? Just like it's white people that are racists that make black people say that all white people are Nazis, all right? Just like it's it's a Jewish person that's a scammer makes everyone think that Jews are scammers that shouldn't be trusted with your money. And it's literally every single time. It is the people in their own groups that are radicalizing everyone else. So in my opinion, every time some woke judge decides to let a criminal off the hook because, well, we don't want to increase Islamophobia, well, with all due respect, you are making things worse. You are galvanizing racism. And I personally am not racist. I'm just correct. Okay, you could call me racist, but you can't call me wrong.
Talking with Stephen Miller and with Pete Hegseth about this in the Oval Office yesterday. And I was like, we should just go over there and say hello to people.
Yo!
And you've got a lot of National Guardsmen over there.
That's
some
my
DC
guy.
cops who have been heckled by some of the protesters. So I thought, what a good show of moral support to have the vice president and some of the senior team at the White House
He's right.
show up. We bought him some burgers, hang out with him a little bit. And actually, the most interesting thing, Laura, was after the cameras left, Pete and Steve and I stayed and, had lunch with these troops and just learned a lot about what they're seeing, about how much the city has changed in just the past 9 days. So crazy statistic. Violent crime has dropped in D.C. 35% in 9 days.
Dude.
Robberies in D.C. have dropped 55% in 9 days.
Bro!
And it highlights the fact that
It highlights the fact that enforcing laws actually works. Like, who'd have thought? Like, what? Arresting criminals stops crime. What? No. What? No. I thought we were in fucking Somalia. Like, bro, what are we doing? Oh my God, there's no way. That's crazy. Arresting criminals stops crime. Now, you have to, obviously this is fascism, okay? I've seen CNN, apparently arresting criminals is fascism, guys. Lock in for some more fascism every day, baby. Why do they have to make fascism sound sexy? Fascism is not a good thing, but they make it sound so sexy. It's crazy. It's like all Nazis look like Sidney Sweeney. Well, thank you. Thank you for glorifying Nazis like that, you assholes.
living with lawlessness and disorder, that's fundamentally a question of political will.
And it's also antithetical to the belief system we have here in the United States. It is. It absolutely is. It is antithetical to our nation's values. All right, first of all, we have laws. And second of all, dude, you realize that literally the first 5 books of the Bible are all laws. It's all legalities. Literally, what your faith is based on is keeping the law. Okay? Like, do you understand how insane this is? To think that just letting people off the hook is a good idea? Bro, they figured this shit out 3,000 years ago.
If you've got the political will to enforce the law, you can make even cities like D.C. safe again. True. And that's what we're demonstrating. And I hope that the American people take an important lesson from this, because obviously D.C. is a federal city, New York, L.A., these places are not. I hope the American people just recognize that you don't have to live with lawlessness. You don't have to live with third world murder rates. If you just take control of these cities, you can make them safe places to live again.
So your pal Gavin Newsom calls it an abuse of power.
Of course. Yes, crime rate drops by 50% in a week. Gavin Newsom, I can't believe you'd abuse your power like this. Dude, I'm telling you, these people want to lose. They want to be retarded. Like, they are pandering to the lowest common denominator of lobotomites, and it's absolutely hilarious. You don't understand how fucking funny it is. Like, these people are unironically pandering to the lowest possible mental faculty human in the country. Someone who doesn't understand basic reality. It's like, do you understand? Gavin Newsom out there, I can't believe you'd abuse your power by arresting criminals. This is truly an abuse of power. He did a fascism, guys. Do we really think this is going to still work? Like, they've been calling Trump Hitler for the last 10 years. Do we really think this is going to work?
This is just a power grab, and this is all stunt for show, and that you all are going to roll through other cities. You've heard things about, it's martial law is going to be declared.
Yep.
And to that, you say?
Well, first of all, how is it a power grab, or how is it a stunt when we've already declined murders by 35% in 9 days?
Great question.
How many people are living and breathing today day because Donald Trump had the willpower to say, you know what?
What a good fucking answer. See, I always attack people from the retard perspective, which again, it's not, that's why I'm never going to go into politics. I'm never going to go into politics. Dude, great fucking answer. Holy shit. Damn. Gavin Newsom, if things would be going your way, 35% more people would have died in the last 9 days. Their blood would be on your hands. Just like the fucking truck driver that just, Indian truck driver guy that's illegal in the country that got a license from the California Driver's License Institute shit and murdered 3 people. And literally killed 3 people on video. I covered this like 2 days ago in my Gavin Newsom video. But their blood's on your hands, bro. You are giving out driver's licenses to people who come from a place with 10... By the way, India has 1% of the world's population, not to break out stats. 1% of the world's population, 10% of the world's car accidents. You are giving these people licenses without vetting, without checking, and they're illegal in the country. And they killed people. And their blood is on your hands.
We're sick of D.C. being a home to lawlessness. We're going to bring some public order back to the capital.
Good. Now do it everywhere.
So what I would say to Gavin Newsom or to anybody else in some of these big blue states or big blue cities is you can have law and order, you can have common decency, you can have public spaces that young families can go to again.
Yeah, he's right.
Tell you a story, Laura. A couple of
Vance, how is it a stunt to make streets safer? I mean, good question, I guess.
years ago, the last time I was in Union Station, I took my little kids there to get lunch, and they were being screamed at by homeless people. Not compassionate to the homeless.
Dude, you know what you do when a homeless person screams at you? You pull out your house keys and you just jingle it in front of them. They're yelling at you and you're just jingling your house keys, and it's like, I have one of these. I'm telling you, it's such a crazy flex. Again, I have nothing against homeless people. However, if they're gonna yell at you, bro.
Homeless people, to let them just fester when they clearly have mental health problems.
True.
Not compassionate to young families.
You can't say mental health problems anymore, JD Vance. We call them retards now.
To not be able to go into one of America's great public spaces without being screamed at by a person clearly suffering from a mental illness. I don't know.
Why is this a political
know.
strategy for them?
Obviously, it's because it's anti-Trump. That's one. And two, they want criminals to vote for them. It's literally a two-part game, right? If Trump does something, they have to say it's bad. Trump breathes air. Did you know that Hitler breathed air? Well, we are all going to stop breathing air now. Like, dude, unironically, this is the kind of shit that you see in the Democrat Party now. Their entire party is just Trump bad. They don't actually have any policies or any ideas or anything at all. Like they literally are just Trump bad. So that is one. And two, they're all their voters. You want to arrest their voters, bro? Who's going to vote for them?
I have thought about this so often and so many times. I don't know why Democrats seem to love public disorder and chaos almost as a political ideology. And I
mean, because they're communists and terrorists. Because that's literally the Democrat. Because you don't understand. You don't. Let me explain the mind of the post-God leftist. Okay, if I consent, it's okay. That's it. That's the entire ideology. Two consenting adults, no problems. I don't care what the fuck happens. I don't care what's going on over there. They're consenting, it's fine. Open marriages, sleeping with your friend's wife, they consent, no problem. No one gives a shit. I mean, look at Gavin Newsom. He slept with his friend's wife. I mean, he slept with his friend's wife, right? So, like, again, this is just an obvious example. But, yeah, they all do this. They all believe in this whole idea of my ideology is good, and my ideology is just, if I consent, it's fine. Now, I did not consent to fascism.
And I think that part of what's going on is Democrats have gotten so divorced from the communities that they allegedly serve that they don't realize the gross majority of residents in D.C., they want to walk through Union Station and just have a bite to eat or enjoy.
Dude, that's why no matter how much shit flinging goes on the internet, in real life, people just don't want crimes on the streets. Okay, so like you can get as many internet brownie points as you want for saying that there are infinite genders. Okay, like you could get all the brownie points on the internet of all time if you do that, but it literally doesn't matter to your average guy that just wants to live a life. And also, like, I think the infinite genders thing is like the most obvious example because who believes that shit? Like, it's got to be 10% of people that believe that shit. Like, for real.
The space with their families. They don't realize that so many people have been absolutely terrorized by Democrat crime policies. And so maybe they just don't make the connection between what Gavin Newsom says and the fact that places like D.C. or Los Angeles have some of the highest murder rates in the world.
And the D.C. police are being investigated for potentially manipulating their...
Like that. The murder rates are up, but at least the misgenderings are down. So we're moving in the right direction, all right? This is obviously a good thing.
Crime data. I've heard this from other police forces across the country. great cops, beat cops in places like Chicago have said some of the crimes are reclassified to make a burglary something that's more of a disturbance, and that kind of stuff happens. But is this a
Yeah, they literally fired the guy that did the crime statistics in D.C. because apparently he was cooking the numbers. He was cooking the books. He was fudging that shit, apparently. Like, he would underclassify crimes and just not report them to the FBI to make the crime stats look better. Like, dude, what are we doing? Like, why are you doing this? I mean, obviously it's to look good, but like, literally, why are you doing this? It's not for the people.
Real issue at this point if this is a manipulation of data and if it's widespread.
Well, it's certainly something that's being investigated, and I hope that we'll uncover what's going on. But even aside from any manipulation of data, when you have 911 wait times that are so long, a lot of crime doesn't even get reported. And we heard this all the time. People would say, well, my home's being robbed. I'm not even going to call the police because it's going to be 45 minutes before they show up. And that's not an indictment of, by the way. They're so overwhelmed by how much violent crime there is that they're unable to actually bring public safety to these communities. So what we're doing...
Literally, bro, literally, it's biblical. It's biblical. Shotguns are biblical. I've decided. All right, I've decided. And so has God. And if someone breaks into your house at night, kill them. It's literally a verse in Exodus. Okay? Literally. Based as shit. Yes. Shotguns are biblical, ladies and gentlemen.
Is just changing the balance a little bit. We're putting more good guys on the streets, and we're taking more bad guys off the streets, and we think that's the sort of thing that's going to bring public safety back to D.C. Again, it's already working in a very big way.
Now, on to Ukraine. Your February meeting with Zelensky and the president, that was quite something to behold.
Me waiting for Zelensky to say please and thank you. To be honest, it worked. Dude, he's such a good sport. It's crazy. Like, he really is a good sport. I don't know why everyone hates him so much. I think it's because they're scared, because he's just, like, a likable guy. Like, so, like, you know, South Park made fun of him, and he's like, I finally made it, guys. Like, dude, you are literally the vice president of the United States of America, the strongest country on the planet. You already made it. It's not South Park making fun of you that makes you make it, but he still tweeted, I finally made it, guys. I don't know. I just think he's just such a personable guy, and people are scared. I think people are honestly just terrified because they see it happening, and there's nothing they can do to stop it.
I'll break the ice this time. Take us into the room, because we're all dying to know that.
All right. Well, I think when so President Zelensky walked into the Oval Office, I was chatting with him, with the president, with some of the senior Ukrainian delegation. I said, Mr. President, so long as you behave, I won't say anything. And he just chuckled a little bit, and it was a good little icebreaker. I mean, what the president's trying to do, meaning our...
Listen, Zelensky, just behave. Just behave, and I won't have to advance you. I won't have to advance you. Did you say please and thank you?
President is trying to do is bring a 3.5-year very brutal conflict to a stop. It's
not Trump's war. It was Biden's war. Come on, dude. You have to do it. You have to do it. It was Biden's war. He started it. Never would happen if I was president.
Killed way too many Ukrainians, way too many Russians. It's completely transformed the economy of Europe and of big parts of Asia. We just got to get back to peace.
Also, like, I saw a stat that actually had me, like, shaking. Apparently, like, 60% of, like, you know, like, soldiers, of males from, like, 20 to 40 are dead in Ukraine. Like, some crazy number. Or maybe not 60%, maybe it's less than that. I don't know. I don't remember the stats off the top of my head, but like, it's a true tragedy. It really is.
And I really do think you heard Vladimir Putin say this, that if Donald Trump had been president in 2022,
never would have happened if he was president. I knew he was going to say it. I knew he was going to say it.
Now the president is really spending a lot of time, a lot of effort to stop Joe Biden's war, because I think it is Joe Biden's war. Without him being weak and provocative, I don't think that Russia would.
I mean, Biden literally said that if Russia does a small incursion into Ukraine, it's fine. When I heard him say that, I literally wanted to kill myself. That this guy was a president of the United States, allegedly. I say allegedly because we don't actually know who ran the country for those 4 years. Probably the biggest scandal in American history, but no one's really talking about it, so I guess it's not important.
Would have invaded Ukraine, and now we have a situation where a president is trying to be strong and bold and trying to bring this thing to a close.
Yeah.
Now, take us into the room when the president said...
Dude, look at the Eurocucks! The Eurocucks! Oh, look at them all sitting there. Oh, my God. All the Eurocucks sitting there waiting on every Trump's word. This is crazy.
I'm going to call Putin now and you got all the Western leaders, they've all come to Washington. Now, what was their facial expression at that point? Did they anticipate that this was going to happen because it was, what, 8 hours ahead Moscow time?
Yeah, it was like 1 a.m. Moscow time, and they had no anticipation. So we're actually in the east wing of the White House, and the president says, you know, we've had a pretty good meeting. I'm going to go call Vladimir Putin and see what he says about it. And everybody's like, oh, you're going to call him next week? And he's like, no, what time is it in Moscow? Let's call him right now.
Oh my God, dude, these legislative bozos. It's like, I will call Putin in 2 weeks' time. We'll make an appointment with the secretary. Trump be like, what the fuck? I got his cell number, bro. I get slid in his DMs, okay, bro? What are we doing? And he's so right. It's about ending the war. It's not about policies and bullshit and just generic shit. He just picked up his phone and called the guy in front of everyone and they lost their shit. Dude, the Eurocucks lost it, bro. It's over. It's over. Absolute America dominance.
And I think one of the things I realized about President Trump's leadership is he cuts through the BS of some of these diplomatic protocols and just says, I'm going to get things done.
I wish that we had more of this in America. Like, I really think we need to downsize the government. And I don't mean, like, you know, fire half the people. I think we need to fire 85% of the people in the government. Like, this is insane. It is insane that every time you want to pass some sort of bill or something, it ends up part of some giant bill. And because obviously you're not going to have time if you want to pass all the bills separately. So it ends up becoming a giant bill and it gets voted on like 47 different levels until eventually it just ends up becoming nothing. And then nothing changes. Like, dude. Absolutely. That's why when everyone is so mad and so furious at Trump for like federalizing law enforcement and be like, why didn't you do it in a different way? That would take 4 extra years and maybe get more people arrested. Why did you declare the Illegal Alien Enemies Act and close the border when you could have done it a different way by not declaring an invasion? Yeah, it would take a few years and we'd have another couple million illegal immigrant rapists in our country. But it's, you're doing a fascism.
I want to talk to somebody. I'm going to talk to somebody. Hey. You had a lot of the Europeans who were saying, no, there needs to be proper, vetting, and you just have to prepare the phone call and blah, 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 blah.
Literally, why? Speak to the man. Dude, this is why Trump actually has aura and why people actually respect him. Because he's human. He's not some robot pushed around by shadow manipulators constantly telling him what to say and what to do in every given situation. Right? Dude, Biden didn't speak to Putin his entire presidency.
And the president was like, no. I want to talk to the guy. I'm going to talk to the guy. And I think that kind of no holds barred, no BS diplomacy is part of the reason why we've made the progress we have. And we've made a lot of progress, Laura. Look, who knows what's going to happen? The president tells me this all the time. You can never say with certainty what the outcome in this situation is going to be. But we now have the Russians talking to the Ukrainians. They're talking details about what would be necessary on each side to stop the fighting and stop the killing. We've made more progress in 3 months than the country had made in 3 years in stopping this conflict. And I think it's because sometimes you just need a president who will pick up the phone and call somebody.
When Vladimir Putin meets with Volodymyr Zelensky, can we assume that all the big details will have been discussed and generally agreed upon, namely the security agreement and land swap?
It's a good question. I think that if you go through the bureaucratic process, then the answer is yes. But I think the president's preference and my preference would be, let's have them meet regardless. You don't have to figure out every issue. And sometimes leaders sitting down face to face can break the logjam that their teams don't necessarily have the ability to do.
Yeah, possibly.
There really are 2 big questions lingering out there. And in some ways it's very simple, but in some ways it's very complicated. Number 1 is Ukraine wants to know that it's not going to get invaded again by Russia. It wants to know that it's got territorial integrity long into the future. The Russians want certain pieces of territory, most of which they've occupied, but some of which they haven't. So that is really where the meat of the negotiation is. The Ukrainians want security guarantees. The Russians want a certain amount of territory. Again, we finally got the details. We're working on them, but we haven't figured everything out. And I don't think that we should force, we shouldn't say that they can't sit down until you figured out every little detail. Sometimes them sitting down is what facilitates figuring out those details.
True. Right.
You have been...
Yeah, no, man. Every time I talk about the Russia-Ukraine thing, I get people so mad. It's funny. I always thought that I would get more death threats for, covering Israel-Palestine stuff, because obviously, my stances are very based and awesome every single time. But actually, I feel like I get more death threats over my coverage of, Russia-Ukraine. Unironically, I just got, a couple of emails emails, like just yesterday, about Russia, Ukraine. Literally people saying, I don't understand why you say that Ukraine should give back any land. Now, me personally, I want peace. I want people to stop killing each other. And the way I see it, it's inevitable. The way I see it, if the war continues, Russia's going to win. Russia will inevitably just win. They're larger, they have more soldiers, they have more military, they have more money, and eventually they will just beat Ukraine, unless it drags the entire world until World War III, which I don't really want either. So, from my perspective, it's not like the just outcome, but I do think it is the inevitable one. And Zelensky is just keeping this war going because he has an, honestly, in my opinion, bullshit view of what he wants the future to be. He's like, no, we want everything back, complete and total victory because Vladimir bad. Well, in my opinion, that is retard baby way of thinking, and it's getting people killed. So again, you could keep sending me death threats if you want. I will continue saying what I think. That's just how it works. Oh, I forgot about the Hassan community. You know, I'd still get more death threats over the Israel stuff, I guess. No, I forgot about the Hassan community. They send me death threats every day.
So strong on the idea of Europe paying for Europe's defense.
Sure.
And I think a lot of Americans don't understand that the EU GDP last year was about $19.18 trillion, if I'm right, give or take. And the UK's was about 2.9 trillion, 29.8 trillion, right?
You know, you know the numbers better than I do. You should be Treasury Secretary.
Scott, I got your job. No, but so this is a lot of money. Europe has the money to defend itself. So the security agreement, my question to you is, why should America carry the lion's share of the burden from now until Lord knows when for Europe when Europe has the money to defend itself?
Well, I don't think we should carry the burden here.
We know.
I think that we should be helpful if it's necessary.
That's why the Euro cucks are so mad.
Stop the war and to stop the killing. But I think that we should expect, and the president certainly expects, Europe to play the leading role here. And what he said very clearly is, look, the United States is open to having the conversation, but we're not going to make commitments until we figure out what's going to be necessary to stop the war in the first place. And I think that it's, the president is very good. He never takes anything off the table. He never puts anything fully on the table because he doesn't want to give away his leverage. And this is the private conversation that we're all going to have about what's necessary to stop the war. But no matter what happens, no matter what form this takes, the Europeans are going to have to take the lion's share of the burden. It's their continent, it's their security, and the president's been very clear.
We have the cards. What can I say? We have the cards. We have a big ocean between us. Trump and Vladimir, they're friends. They fondle each other's balls all the time. Don't worry, we're fine. We're okay. You're the ones that need to be worried. Step up or get cooked.
They're going to have to step up here.
What's it like meeting Putin? What was he like just one-on-one?
So I've actually never met Putin. The president did that meeting. I've talked to him on the phone a number of times. It's interesting. He's more soft-spoken than you would necessarily expect. The American media has a particular image of him. He's soft-spoken in a certain way. He's very deliberate. He's very careful. And I think fundamentally he's a person who looks out for the interests as he sees it of Russia. And I think one of the reasons he respects the President of the United States is because he knows the President looks out for the interests of the American people.
For the record, I agree with this take. I do. I really do. I do think that both of them obviously look out for themselves too personally. Like Putin doesn't want to look weak to Russia, right? Like if he ends up just like, let's say, saying, you know what, peace, we'll get back all the land, dude, Russia will eat him alive. So I think that he's kind of stuck in a position where he needs to quote unquote win this war, or his country will eat him. So again, I do believe that, he is Russia first, just like Trump is America first. And I think that is honestly kind of what every leader should be doing, even though Putin is doing it in a vicious, evil way by, causing a war that's killing thousands of people. That's just my perspective.
While they often disagree about issues, and obviously the president has been very critical of Vladimir Putin, the president's also willing to work with anybody if he thinks it's going to accomplish an important goal for America. And we all agree an important goal is to stop the killing.
Let's move to the economy because that is still the number one issue in the United States for most voters. The Democrats seem to be banking.
Bro, listen, man, I love my homies in Ukraine. I hope they're all well. If I can't afford a house, that's obviously the first thing on my mind. Like, listen, no hate to anyone in Ukraine, okay? Listen, but I need to afford a home first.
On an economic downturn, just like they seem to be banking on chaos in the streets against the National Guard.
Sure.
How do you see the economy in the next 6 months as we're seeing some continuing uncertainty regarding interest rates and Jerome Powell?
Well, unfortunately, you have the Democrats. I think they really are betting against the United States. We're betting on the United States and the American people. There are a lot of good things happening in the economy. You have a lot of new investment coming in part because of the tariffs. People are trying to avoid the tariffs by building in the United States, which is their whole point, Laura, and why the president has been right about this issue from the beginning. You see blue-collar wages rising at their fastest rate in 50, 60 years.
Love that.
You see inflation cooling off, though there's still a lot of work to do there. So I feel very good about where the economy is. Can I
tell you another really fun thing about the economy? If there's less illegal immigrants in the country that are literally stealing jobs from Americans and getting paid less because, well, I mean, you can pay them whatever you want. Like, there's no minimum wage if you're not legal in the country. What are you gonna do? Sue me? You're gonna sue me for paying you less than minimum wage? Nah, dude, that's bullshit. So again, another W. I was gonna make a really bad joke. Listen, if there's ever a job position you want, and somebody takes that job position, and they're not legal in the country, okay, listen, I'm just saying. Contacting ICE is always, it's fighting for your country and your rights. That was a joke, obviously. Or was it?
Never predict the future, but I think what people all over the world recognize is that it's a time to build in the United States of America. If you want to build a car, you want to build a car manufacturing facility.
Now's the time.
If you want to build a next generation technology facility,
now's the time. Because they can't build it elsewhere and just import it because they'll get tariffed to oblivion. It's America time.
Is whatever you want to do, we are the place to do business.
How about rare earths and magnets, which is what we're ending on with China, which gives them an enormous amount of leverage over us.
And that's something the president has really directed the entire team to fix that issue, because whether it's rare earth magnets or pharmaceuticals, he wants the United States to depend on Americans. We should not be in a situation where foreign adversaries or competitors have control over critical parts of our economy. Think about where, God forbid,
long term, this could be really dangerous. Like, if for whatever reason Russia decides to team up with China, okay, and China decides, you know what, now we're on Russia's side and America's giving money to Ukraine, so we're just going to stop giving them pharmaceuticals. That would be a nightmare.
Americans are in some sort of conflict, and we can't get antibiotics because we're in a conflict against a country that makes the antibiotics. You don't have economic freedom and you don't have real prosperity unless you make your own stuff. That's why the president of the United States is making it so much easier to build things and make things in America.
Now, I know you love talking about politics because you're going to say, well, we can't look forward to 2028. I understand that.
I'm sick of politics.
But Democrats are still doing their 2024 autopsy.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
and
amazing,
part of their
dude.
autopsy is that going forward, they need to kind of be more like Trump in tone, tougher, have nicknames.
Yeah, the Gavin Newsom strategy. Just make fun of everybody. He became evil Trump. I covered this in my previous video. I'm probably going to make another video on Newsom.
I've given you a nickname, which I don't even understand, called Just Dance Vance. So I guess, what's your favorite dance? What's your favorite dance music?
JD. I mean, that's a pretty good nickname.
I mean, it's the dumbest nickname. But how lost are the Democrats right now? And you can answer the dance question.
I mean, look, the autopsy for the Democrats, some free political advice from the President of the United States is stop
too much.
Oh, did he just call himself the President of the United States?
Sounding like crazy people.
Did he just call himself the President of the United States? Hold up.
Some free political advice from the President of the United States is
stop too much.
Stop sounding like crazy people.
I mean, to be honest, that's pretty good advice. All right, listen, man. Every time a Democrat goes out there and says there's more than two genders, they are literally losing the people. Like, how can you possibly vote? How can you possibly vote for a party? Like, how could you possibly vote for a party that is just so anti-reality? Like, holy shit. Oh, my God.
That really is all it is. I mean,
I'm just waiting for Democrats to say that incest is moral. I'm just waiting for it. It's going to happen. You'll see. It's two consenting adults. Who cares? You'll see. You'll see it's going to happen.
The idea that Gavin Newsom is somehow going to mimic Donald Trump's style, I think that ignores the fundamental genius of President Trump's political success, which is that he's authentic. He just is who he is. You've got
to... He's been the same guy for the last 30, 40 years, like, in the public space. He's been the same fucking guy. He never had to, like, chameleon morph and completely change himself. He's been the same dude, always talking that loud shit. It's crazy.
Be yourself. You've actually got to talk to people honestly about the issues. I don't think it's that complicated. Don't be a crazy person. Be authentic. If the Democrats did that, they'd do a hell of a lot better. But the thing is, the Democrats really can't help themselves. If you look at the transgender issue, they're still talking about letting men play in women's sports. If you look at the crime issue, they're calling Donald Trump a fascist for taking action that in 9 days has dropped.
Dude, they are pro-crime, they are pro-terrorism, they are pro-mutilation of children, like, they are pro-murdering babies. Like, they are the fucking crazy people right now. Like, guys, why are none of your stances normal? What is going on?
Armed robberies by 55%. So part of sounding less crazy is being less crazy. And if the Democrats were less crazy, I think we'd all get along a whole lot better.
Yeah, I'm not trying to pick on California because I am a member of the California bar, so don't get me here. But look, we've had a situation where they're giving commercial driver's licenses to illegal aliens who can't speak English.
Who don't have basic English competency.
And they're killing Americans in Florida.
Because if you're going to read a road sign, Laura, you might as well, or you need to actually read the language the road sign is written.
This is the Asmongold opinion. If you can't speak the language, why would we let you immigrate into our country if you can't even contribute? You can't even read the road signs. Oh my God. Bro, insane. Dude, I don't know, man. Every time I see, like, people being like, but, like, the Nick Fuentes type people, but JD Vance is married to an Indian woman. He is obviously worse for the country because he married an Indian woman. Meanwhile, Gavin Newsom is, like, flooding the country with these guys.
This illegal alien in California killed 3 innocent people.
I'm pretty sure he killed 3 people in Florida, but he got his license in California. So, same idea.
Because he was reckless, he was dangerous, he shouldn't have been in the country, but now we come to find out he can't even read in the language the road signs are written in. So this is...
He did a driver's test. I don't know if you're aware. I'm not sure if I covered this in my previous video when I talked about this. He did a driver's test. He got 2 out of 10 questions correct, and they gave him the driver's license anyway. Like what are we doing, guys?
Again, it goes to the Democrats' basic problem, which is they're just too crazy.
Yeah, like they have misplaced. They think that it's empathy, but it's actually just a branch of retardation and autism. Like, dude, they think it's empathy to give driver's license to this guy when it's not empathy. Empathy to the cruel is cruelty to the innocent. These people are ruining our country.
Imagine if you had a Democratic Party that was focused on enhancing the prosperity and the safety of American citizens rather than bringing in millions of low-wage illegal immigrants, giving them the right to vote, and allowing them to effectively make it harder for Americans' life.
Why?
That's what this is about. They care more about low-wage foreigners than they do about their own people.
Dude, he's fucking cooking! This is why they're so scared of Vance. Like, he's well-spoken, he's right, he doesn't get, like, super riled up. Dude, unreal.
The fundamental craziness at the heart of the Democratic Party, and until they change that, Gavin Newsom can mimic Donald Trump all that he wants to. They're still going to lose unless they get better policies that actually serve the American people.
He's literally right. He is literally 100% correct. No matter how many Twitter likes he gets off of his good zingers, no one is voting for Democrat establishment retard Gavin Gruesome Newsom, who went out there, like, dude, this guy is such a flip-flopping fraud. I mean, aside from sleeping with his friend's wife, which is obviously not a very nice thing to do. You know, he goes out there, he says that you need trans people in women's sports, and then after Trump won and he realized that that was a, 90-10 issue, he changed his mind. Oopsie poops, he changed his mind. Like, dude, this is the level of retard we're dealing with.
Given the fact that they're endangering the lives and killing American citizens, as we saw with that horrific crash,
literally killing American
literally
citizens
killing
with
Americans. I mean, these are not made up statistics. These just happen. I mean, federal highway funds. That's leverage that the federal government has.
I have to see what Hassan Piker said about Gavin Gruesome. I'm sorry, because I'm sure he loves it because it's retarded. Bro, okay, so just on my homepage right here, we got Destiny. They're actually so mad at him, lol. They're actually so mad at him, lol. Oh, Gavin Gruesome. Bro, dude, like, dude, he's not doing anything. He's just shitposting and he's losing. This is amazing. It's amazing. It's awesome. I love Gavin Newsom. I love what he's doing. I think it's hilarious. It's hilarious. It's so Trump downplays slavery. Oh my God. The Dems are in trouble. True. No lies detected. Newsom's strategy is working. I don't know, man. It's amazing. I love that they love this guy. It's so awesome because he is the classic corporate fucking shill. Like an actual generic ass dirtbag, but because he's tweeting, they like him. Like they are everything that they claim that MAGA is. They are also a cult, okay? Like, they are claiming that MAGA is a cult that just likes Trump because he tweets in capital letters. Dude, you are literally that. Like, unbelievable levels of projection. And I have not seen anyone actually triggered over Gavin Newsom. I think everyone's finding it very entertaining. I know I am.
Over the states that refuse to do the basics.
That's exactly
Would you
right.
consider advising that DOT and the administration pull back on federal highway funds for these states.
So I don't want to get ahead of any administration announcements, but we are looking at a whole host of points of leverage we can exercise over California and other states to make sure they comply with the law. Sanctuary cities are killing people because you allow these violent...
No one's above the law. Fuck this shit.
...criminals to set up shop in your cities. Obviously, you saw this case with a person who murdered people on the road, 3 people on the road, because he couldn't even read the road signs. We have a lot of points of leverage here, but fundamentally, I think the American people have to stand with us here. Because when we go and tell the governor of California or the governor of New York that you have to stop putting the interests of illegal aliens over American citizens, we need the American people to stand with us. And I think that they will. I think that they are. But we're definitely not going to let this slide, Laura. You can't do it. You've got to stop putting the interests of foreigners who don't have the right to be here over the interests of American citizens. That is the entire point and purpose of the Democratic Party.
Every time I see him say things like this, and then I see like some of the people like just because you hate Jews or whatever, you're not gonna vote for Vance. Like you're gonna vote for Gavin Newsom. You're gonna open for open border policy guy, not Vance, because Vance is married to an Indian woman. Like what? Like what are we doing? You are retarded. You're all crazy. It's amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. I know the argument is gonna be, oh, we're just trolling. But like honestly, it's fucking hilarious. I am also trolling when I say that y'all are awesome. I don't think people realize that Vance is getting astroturfed to the moon by the most disingenuous personal attacks ever. Literally. Like, I look sexier in my scarf than Vance did in high school? Like, this is really a point of attack, bro? Like, bro, dude. Bro, I missed that. Like, is this really your point of attack? 300,000 likes. Who cares? As Phil Labonte posts in the comments, where's your water, California? Where's your fucking water, bro? Where's your water, dude? You know, too busy with 47 genders and no working fire hydrants.
Back to the election of 2024. What was the big issue? The big issue was illegal immigration.
True,
They were actually defending the rights of illegal immigrants
over
to come into our country, to vote in our elections, to collect Social Security and Medicaid.
By the way, in my opinion, that is direct theft. Like, they are stealing my taxpayer money. I am paying taxes that's going to people that are illegal in the country. Like, why the fuck should anyone need to tolerate this? Absolute insanity. Deport all of the illegals. Every single one. But Nux, that's so evil of you to say! Have you no humanity? No, I have a little too much humanity, actually.
By right go to American citizens, to say nothing of housing. This is actually the biggest driver of housing costs in some of these big... is that they flooded the zone with illegals.
Of course, obviously. On Social Security. So my taxpayer dollars are paying for illegal immigrants to live in a house that an American can't afford. Like, what are we doing? Like, these are anti-American freaks.
As we've kicked illegal aliens out of our country, you actually see housing costs start to level off. So fundamentally, the difference between Republicans and Democrats is we care about American citizens. They actually don't like American citizens and want to replace them with low-wage foreigners.
That is such a crazy, like, simplistic framing, and he's just completely right.
It's a very stark difference, and I think the American people are going to continue to reward us because of it.
All right. When Elon Musk departed, he said,
here we go.
It was, dramatic departure.
And
I know you know him well, you're good friends with him, but he said he's going to start a third party and that sent everyone into the stratosphere, but he's since kind of backed off that. And now, according to the Wall Street Journal, he is considering backing you in 2028. I know you don't want to get ahead of the president. He's only 7 months into this, but would that be something you would welcome, certainly his staying in politics and perhaps supporting you down the road?
Yeah, so I saw the story, and as far as I can tell, the story is completely fake. I've never talked with Elon Musk or frankly any other donor about 2028. I do think,
I'll be honest, that's fucking based. He's not like in this for some like unbelievable strategy to grab power. Like he's just doing his part. Holy shit.
That it would be a huge mistake for Elon to go forward with a third party. And my argument to him is, whether you like it or not, you are now perceived by the far left as on the side of the American right. You believe in law and order, you believe in closed borders, you believe in economic growth and prosperity, you believe in making things in the United States of America. The idea that Elon is ever going to go back to being sort of in the middle.
Dude, they will literally cancel you for like an old tweet and they will never associate with you ever again because you made a tweet in 2016. Okay, that was controversial. Okay, literally. These are not the people you will ever be able to appease ever. You could never appease these people. Like, they are completely emotionally driven retards.
Where Democrats and Republicans both like him, that's just not going to happen. He is perceived as being on the American right. And so if he doesn't like things the Republican Party is doing, my advice to Elon would be try to fix the Republican Party. Try to push it in your own way. Disagree with me all you want. Disagree with the President of the United States, but don't pretend that you can make a big difference with a third party. I think Elon would make a much bigger difference if he stayed loyal to President Trump's Republican Party. And if he had disagreements, express those disagreements from the inside as opposed to from the outside.
The New York Times just...
That is a good fucking message to Elon there. Dude, I'm telling you, bro. This is why everyone's scared of him. Everyone's literally shitting their pants because the writing is on the wall. He just speaks so well every time. And this isn't just me saying this now. You can go back to every time I reacted to Vance. He speaks so well. It's crazy. Like, he knows how to get, like, a complicated issue into very concise and simplistic terms, easy to understand and swallow, and just honestly correct. Like, just correct framing.
The Democrats are in a voter registration spiral. 2.1 million Americans ditched the Democrat Party between 2020 and 2024. Meanwhile, the GOP is doing pretty well. They're gaining 2.4 million. So is this a moment where we could see the midterm curse reversed and the Republican Party gain some ground?
I think we have a good chance, but take nothing for granted, Laura. You have the Democrats are still trying to register illegal aliens. They still explicitly said they want illegal aliens to vote in federal elections.
They don't want
we
voting.
still have, I think, a lot of headwinds from the media. They never tell the truth about what we're doing, about what the president has accomplished for the American people. So don't rest on our laurels.
He is right. Like, the propaganda machine is against them, and they're still fucking cooking.
Achieving victories for the American people and keep on trying to win. That's our path to being able to continue to govern this country. I'm not...
Bro, just release the Epstein files, brother. You just release the Epstein files and you get a fucking bingo.
Look, I'm not going to bank anything in 2026. We just have to keep working at it.
Who's your best friend in the cabinet?
We have a lot of good friends, right? I mean, the weird thing is, you say it's one person, then fundamentally that's an insult to other people. I mean, Marco and I are very close. We were close in the Senate. He's been a great friend of mine.
I love
think he's
Marco
doing a great
Rubio.
job.
He's been cooking.
I went to the Union Station.
He's
I
great.
think he's doing a great job as Secretary of Defense. And really, the D.C. swamp tried to destroy Pete Hegseth unlike anybody in the administration, and that really...
That's a good sign.
Whenever I see...
That is a... Dude, I live by this. Yes! When the swamp and the retards come for you, you know shit's good. All right? I'll be real. It's crazy.
The worst people in the world trying to tear a guy down.
Didn't I literally say that at the beginning of this episode? When all the worst people come together to attack somebody, you know that person's based. Like, dude, I live in, like, an inverse universe at some point. Now, let me make this clear. I don't trust any politician. I think if a politician's mouth is moving, he's probably lying. I don't trust Vance either. Obviously, he's a politician. He's out here showing a version of himself that he wants to appeal to the most American people. All right, that is literally what he's fucking doing. I'm not an idiot. I obviously know this is happening. But that said, I have to go with the balls, and my balls. All right, my balls say, if all the worst retards on the planet all hate this guy, he's probably pretty good.
That makes me think he's on our side.
Are you doing push-ups and pull-ups with him and Bobby? Are you?
I have not yet done, and I'm sure they can do more push-ups and pull-ups than I have, but I am.
I mean, Vance, bro, like, I'll be real, dude. Like, bro, listen, man. I appreciate Gavin Newsom versus JD Vance is just literally Drake versus Josh. Bro, you gotta lose a little bit of your Josh, if you know what I'm saying. Like, your face is very round and memeable, and it's great memes. Don't get me wrong, but like.
I do love this presidential focus on fitness, and Bobby and Peter obviously lead the way, but I'm going to participate as much as I can.
You're going to Georgia, big, beautiful bill. Can we expect any fireworks down there? What can we say?
Well, I guess it depends on who's going to show up to the rally. But yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun, talk about the big successes of the big, beautiful bill, the fact that it lowers taxes for the gross majority of Americans, the fact that we're making it easier to build things in America again. So we're going to have a good time, and we're going to talk about all the things the president's doing just to make people's lives better. That's the whole reason we're doing this. We want Americans to be able to live safe, prosperous lives in their own country. We made a lot of progress in 7 months. We're going to make a lot more.
Hey, Sean Hannity.
He cooked. I'm not even going to lie. He fucking cooked. This was really good. And yeah, he did give a message to Elon Musk. I do believe that Elon Musk might be backing Vance moving forward. I, in fact, predict it. I think that it is going to happen. because unlike Trump, I do think Vance is a lot more flexible than Trump. Like Trump definitely, he has his ideology, and he'll be like a fucking jackhammer. He will steamroll anyone to get it his way. I really do think Vance is a lot more flexible and open-minded to hearing other perspectives. So I do think that someone like Elon might pick up on that and want to join him. In fact, I predict it. Regardless, my favorite thing that's going on in politics right now in America is Vance versus Newsom. Because Newsom is like a completely artificially inflated retard because he's copying Trump. And Vance is just literally getting shit on by all the worst people out there. All the worst people came together to collectively attack this guy. And there's no endorsement, in my opinion, that is better than seeing retards shitting on somebody. I'll just be real. Your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. Stay weird, fam. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.